Hello everyone, how you all doing? This is PS with another video for my Road to Evoke thing. So Evoke is a demo party in Germany. I'm trying to do some productions for Evoke. One of the ideas I had was to use style transfer that has been made popular with some neural network libraries to maybe get a famous demo scene video and change the style on all the frames to a style from another demo. Might be like an idea, like Andromeda software development does, I don't know, Second Reality or something like that. That might be interesting to pull out, but for that I need the repository to be working. And I found a few repositories. There was one for Windows, but for Windows 10, but it was only for images, not for videos. And it was based on an old version of CUDA, which I didn't want to install because I was trying to get the latest version to work. But most of the repositories I found were for Ubuntu. So I decided today was the day that I would install dual boot on my machine and get Ubuntu working. So, went through the usual steps. First, download Ubuntu, latest version, version 18. Then download the installer for the USB. There's this USB flash installer thingy program that you can use to basically turn one of your USB drives into an operating system installer. So I used that, then I shrinked my hard drive. Actually, I had to clean it up a little bit, clean the cache and stuff, so I could have a bigger partition. I had some problems there. And finally, I had to remove the, secure boot thing from the BIOS on the computer. So far, just pretty standard stuff that you can do, or that you have to do on your computer to install another operating system. I don't know what the hell just happened on the computer back here. It was doing stuff. Oh, it entered screen mode. Okay, that's useful. And if I swipe up, okay. Because I'm waiting for it to install stuff. And meanwhile, it entered screensaver. That's fine. Okay, so where was I? So yeah, I changed the BIOS settings to allow secure boot. I booted from the USB disk, from USB pen drive. I tried to install Linux, and I just got first. You see, I used two monitors, and this is my main monitor right here, and this is my secondary monitor. And Ubuntu would only show up the splash screen on the secondary monitor, not the first one, and then it would stay on the splash screen for, I don't know, 5 minutes. I thought it was just taking its time because the USB pen drive is not fast or something. So I went to eat something. When I came back, it was still doing stuff. So rebooted, tried launching normal Linux straight from the pen drive. It did launch that time, so don't know what's up with that. But it only showed one of the screens as previously. The mouse was not working. And the screen was all misconfigured, like it was only showing like half the screen, or with scanned lines. It was weird. I couldn't configure anything. So since I couldn't configure anything, I figured, okay, let's just update to another version of Ubuntu. I had noticed while I was downloading Ubuntu 18 that most of the repositories mentioned that they tested it on Ubuntu 14. So I downloaded Ubuntu 14, and that's the version I tried to install here. That's the version that failed. So I figured, okay, let's try Ubuntu 18. So went through the same process, reburned the pen drive, installed it all over again, and this time the installer worked. Two things showed up on the screens here. It went through the whole thing. I just didn't have network, which was fun. So I searched how to install drivers for network. I thought there might be a driver issue. And of course they tell me that, I should type if ifconfig and see how my network state is. I type ifconfig and it tells me that it's not installed, that the package nettools is not installed, but that I can run the command apt-get and it will automatically install it from the internet, which would be nice, except that I don't have access to the internet. So yeah, and I found another solution that I could download to the pen drive and then just, you know, compile the stuff on Linux and install it. And to compile, you use make install command, and Ubuntu tells me that I don't have make installed, but that I can run apt-get to download it automatically from the internet and install it, which was useful. Yeah, so eventually I figured out there was another command to check your network, which is lshw-c net, that lists your hardware apparently or something. And I noticed that it was being detected properly, the Ethernet card. It was just not connecting to the network, so it might be a router configuration thing. So I tried putting the local IP or manual IP directly instead of DHCP, of trusting the DHCP, and it wasn't working. But I thought, maybe I'll do a Mac clone of the Mac address, because it could be like conflicts with the Windows Mac and the router thinking, oh, this is the same Mac, but it's another operating system, so let's give it the same IP, but we can't give it the same IP because although it's the same Mac, it seems to be another computer, and it might be like someone spoofing the network. And yeah, this is getting a lot of computer tech heavy, this video in particular. Because yeah, this is what you have to deal with to try to get the fucking repository working on another operating system. So yeah, I tried that, it wasn't working. Eventually I thought, sometimes you need a reboot for a network to start working. So I rebooted, and magically enough, it finally started working. Hooray! So I installed all the stuff that I needed, and I could finally test out the repository. So first pen use, I noticed that the repository that I was trying to use does not have open models for training yet. So they use like special models to transfer the style of stuff and train them in a specific way, which is not public yet because they're working on another paper. And until that paper is out, they won't be publishing this information. So, well, that was nice. So I looked for another repository, and I found the original one that does... Actually, I found two. One of them that does for movies, but that it's like frame-by-frame based. It doesn't have optimizations to learn information from the optical flow of the image. And another one that is prior work from these two, but that it's like the base groundwork for the other two. So yeah, I'm trying to install one of them. Installed Torch, which was just running a few commands. Then I tried to install CUDA, and of course CUDA doesn't have drivers ready for version 18 of Ubuntu, only has for version 17. So I tried to hack the drivers to work. apt-get failed, and then I spent like half an hour searching how to get apt-get working again. I found out there was this command that you could use to force overwrite on a file, which was the problem I was having, or the conflict that I was having. I guess it was having a conflict between the drivers that I was trying to install and the drivers that are natively installed from Ubuntu. That might be the issue, I don't know. Anyways, I forced an overwrite, and that should be working. And now I'm trying to install CUNN, which is like the neural network version for CUDA, apparently. And after that, I still have to install CUDNN, which I have no fucking clue what it is whatsoever. But I do know that to download that file from NVIDIA, I have to be a registered member. And I actually am a registered member at NVIDIA, but my password for the NVIDIA side is on my password files, which is on the Windows desktop, and don't have the latest backup on my pen drive. So yeah, I'm waiting for this crap to finish installing. It's 58% now, And once this crap is done, I need to reboot to Windows, get my passwords file, and reboot to Mac or to Linux. And check out the password file, download stuff from NVIDIA. Try to install CUDNN. And then, hopefully, maybe, I will have some style transfer stuff working or ready to be tested at least. So yeah, that's where I'm at, trying to get stuff done for Evoke. That was my afternoon. You can see it's nighttime already out there. So yeah, I hope you guys have been having a great weekend. My weekend has been this so far, dealing with Ubuntu and installation stuff. Always fun. Everyone loves doing that, especially people who hate system management like I do, or system administration. So yeah, that's Road to Evoke so far. See you in the next video, everyone. Take care.